Good morning and welcome to Lightning Ministries Daily Devotional. My name is Pastor Timothy Kirk, and I want to thank you for joining me today in hearing what God has to say. Today we're talking about being afflicted or dealing with troubles and trials and tribulations in our lives. I know Jesus made the comment that we're going to have to deal with those things while we're here in our human form until we return home to be with Him. So, reading from Psalms 119, verses 71 to 76. In this particular passage in the Bible, or passages I should say, the psalmist is rejoicing in affliction. Now, personally, I don't know how you can be happy about being afflicted, whether it be something spiritual, physical, mental, or even for that matter, financial. But I realize that what it does add is that it allows us to add God's knowledge from His Word to our lives so that we can live according to what is being given to us from not only our heart, but our spirit. And hopefully it will enrich us and mature us into becoming more peaceful or having peace in what we're dealing with. Now, I realize that in this particular lesson about the Lord's consistency and His righteousness and for us, His grace, it was more valuable than anything we could ever imagine. There's not any riches in the world that would ever be able to replace God's grace and mercy. Now, I realize that affliction, can't even say affliction, has a really strong impact on us and our faith as believers. Now, consider how David here in this particular Psalms is pursued by the Lord to develop what was causing him so much pain and affliction as he was running away from Saul. Now, for many years between the victory over him slaying the giant and getting on the throne, it was very draining and demanding as he waited. I'm sure that it is a lot for us as we're frustrated by the challenges of life, even as what David faced in this particular situation as a wise leader. Now, not only that, the psalmist here revealed that David's struggles taught him not only perseverance, repentance, dependence, and a plethora of spiritual traits that he would use later on in his life. And as you and I read in his Psalms, even in Psalms 23 was probably one of the most well-known, that God will give him not only a new table to eat at, but He'll also allow him to lay down with the lambs. Now, realize that the Lord also provided for David some comfort, even as he stretched out his faith to God to trust Him and what He was going to do. Now, what I don't want you to take away from this thing is that affliction is never good. And what I do want you to take away from it is that God tends to shape us and mold us into the people that He wants to conform us into so that we can be useful to others. Now, I realize that this message in this particular situation is that God is enough. He is sufficient to meet all of our needs when the pit is extremely deep. And the obstacles, while they're high, and the suffering, while it may be prolonged, is where we have to come back to trust. Now, I want to read 2 Corinthians 2:14, where it tells you and I, as believers, and as God says, is that we're like a sweet aroma down here on this planet. And we're supposed to present ourselves with a sense of cheer. It's kind of like, you're going through something, but yet you wash your face and you present yourself notable to those around you, with none of them ever knowing what's going on in your life or presenting any kind of discouragement. And then at that point, our relief and our comfort comes from the Lord. And that's what Christ wants to do in showing His love to all of us. So what I challenge you with this day is that while you may be going through things that are considered an affliction in your life, no matter what they may be, we have to remember that God's trying to mold us. And what we may expect from Him may not be what is the best for us. So I challenge you today to seek God, seek what He's wanting to teach you, and then learn from that and apply it to your life with a sense of love and joy and peace. Hey, thanks for coming and listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. As you can see on the screen here down below, wrong side, is that there's our website. You're more than welcome to go there and donate to our cause. And if you'd like to become a partner and partner with us on a monthly basis, we'd really appreciate that too. And if you also enjoyed this message, I'd appreciate some comments, good or bad, right or wrong. Appreciate you. Hey, and do me a favor. Have a blessed day. And remember, God is in control.